Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a video talking about the potential schedule for March 2025. We are already in March. We're about to hit our first week here. Now, we already know for sure what we're getting this week. But honestly, this entire year has kind of been so far almost a question mark, just because we had an ongoing anime going on, and we really just weren't sure how Legends was going to handle a lot of the Daima releases. So, this hasn't necessarily been the most consistent month, especially when compared to how they've handled releases in 2024. But I'll try and look at this March here and see if I can give some, I guess, best guesses as to when we could see character releases and maybe who we could see. This video is going to contain Dragon Ball Daima spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled on Daima, just don't watch. That's all I'm going to say. All right, so we'll start. So if you don't want to get spoiled on Daima, just click off the video and come back when you watch Daima. Okay, so up until now, in this entirety of 2025, we've had 0 Daima releases. We have not had a single, I'm recording this video on, as you can see, March 2nd, Sunday, March 2nd. We have had zero Dragon Ball Daima releases in 2025, none. The last time we got a character from Daima was Super Saiyan Goku and Tamagami 3, part 2 of Legends Fest in like mid/early December. So we're talking, 2.5 months without getting a single release from Daima, and it has been that long. I think the reason why is because there's some kind of roadblocks put in place, restrictions put in place by the IP holders, aka Shueisha and Toei. Don't know the details, but that's all I can really speculate, because it makes no sense. Like, why would Legends release Zenkai First Form Cell during the week where we're getting Super Saiyan 4 Goku in Daima? It doesn't make any sense, right? Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. When did Vegeta go Super Saiyan 3? Was it January? I think it was like January. It was either December or January where Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 3 versus Tamagami number 2. And it has now been like 2 months, and we haven't gotten Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in the game. So, and by the way, it's not just this game. It's Dokkan doesn't have him either. There's no games that have him. Xenoverse just announced Super Saiyan 3 Adult Vegeta. The only game I know of that has Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta as a playable character is Super Divers, but that's a completely different. I'm pretty, because Super Divers is basically just the successor of Dragon Ball Heroes, and Dragon Ball Heroes was always, for some reason, I'm not sure why, but it was always treated differently when it came to things that were allowed in the game. They got Beast Gohan essentially almost right away, which no other game did. So I think the game was just treated differently, and is treated differently than these other games are. But yeah, no Daima releases essentially this entire year just doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense business-wise, 0 sense, and also scheduling-wise makes 0 sense. So there's got to be some kind of roadblock where they aren't allowed to release characters from Daima past a certain point, and I'm thinking maybe it's just anything beyond the Goku versus Tamagami 3 fight kind of was just put on a restriction, or it was just put on. It was just off limits for these games to really develop, and we even see that with Kakarot. Kakarot is, I'm pretty sure the first DLC is coming out like in September or something. It's like not even close to releasing yet. But they have mentioned that it goes through the Super Saiyan Goku versus Tamagami 3 fight. And that's the last episode, I think, that they cover in the DLC. At least the Part 1 DLC. So I think that theory makes sense, where the games were allowed to cover up until that episode, and then anything past that episode was kind of just, they weren't allowed to touch it yet. Maybe starting in March, that is now that those restrictions have been lifted. Again, Xenoverse 2 is coming out with a DLC that is including Super Saiyan 3 Adult Vegeta. The final episode of Daima, I think it was the 28th. It was the last day of February, right? Yeah, the last episode of Daima happened on the 28th, and then literally like 30 minutes after the episode finished airing on Japanese TV, Xenoverse 2 announced Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta was coming in DLC. So yeah, they're ready here. I'm thinking maybe it is really March finally is where these restrictions are being lifted. But in terms of Dragon Ball Legends schedule here, we know that we are getting Ultra Cell on March 5th. So this is going to be the first major release of the month. Now this is, I mean, I can go through every single month since the game came out, and ever since the concept of Legends limited characters like were conceived and implemented into the game, have we ever a single time during any off month, so not Legends Fest, not anniversary months, have we ever seen an LF or an Ultra character release in the first week of a month? I think the answer is no. And there's a financial reason why they do it that way. And it doesn't make sense to do it this way. They should have released him, and I guarantee you they were initially planning on releasing him here. But for whatever reason, he did not release here. We got the... Dude, they teased him... Was it the 24th or the 25th? Like, they teased him like... I think it was the 25th. They're like, oh, he's coming in like the social media post. So 8 days in advance, they posted that he was coming on the 5th. There's something going on with that. Again, I think it's probably related to scheduling with Daima, restrictions with Daima. Something got messed up with the schedule. I'm just going to blame Toei or Shueisha for that. But regardless, we do have, again, I think for the first time, maybe ever, a major premium LF or Ultra character dropping in the first week of the month. And the consequence of that was February got extremely messed up. And I also think potentially March could also get extremely messed up. February, I'm going to open this in a separate window. We had one new release in February. One. It was Super Saiyan Cell Games Goku, who dropped on the 12th. It was him plus the Super Trunks. Now, I actually am a big fan of that Super Trunks. I think they did a really good job with him. Super Saiyan Goku, I'm not a fan of his design at all. He's a good unit, and I mean, you know, popular character. I actually do really like the Super Saiyan Goku versus Cell fight. But the character, I'm not a huge fan of it. But this is the only character they dropped the entire month. Is the 12th here. This is the only drop in the entire month of February. This was a terrible month. I mean, the 19th was when we got the first form Cell Zenkai, one of the worst weeks ever. First form Cell Zenkai and the battle system update, and that was all we had for this period of time. This week of time, one Zenkai for like one of the least hype sparking characters ever. First form Cell. Nothing else. No equipment. 2 unique equips here in a slot that should have been a new character drop. We had LF Purple Cell Zenkai here, which is pretty solid. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the first 2 weeks of this month, but like the last 2 weeks of the month were so bad that I just think this February ends up becoming one of the worst months ever in Legends. But maybe that means March can be one of the best months ever, because essentially what they did is they pushed. This is not the right year. Here we go. What they essentially did is they pushed the release to here. So one question I'm going to be asking constantly throughout March is, because of them pushing the Cell release to here, does that mean we're going to be getting an extra release in this month? Or is Cell going to take the spot of a release we would have gotten otherwise? I am really hoping it's not the latter. I'm really hoping he's not going to just like take a spot. So if we look at last year, March 2024, we had 2 major releases in March, which is very typical. Two major releases is usually how every month goes in this game. LF Super Baby 2 dropped on March 13th. He's a pretty good character. I think they actually did a good job with designing him. And, he didn't, I wouldn't say he aged the greatest, because just the way his gauge works. Whenever we see these characters with defensive unique gauges like this, it's very hard for them to age well, because we just have way too insane offensive power creep in the game. But he dropped here. Pretty good character. This was part of I believe it was called the Looming Nemesis campaign. And then we had Ultra Golden Frieza drop on the 27th. So we had the 2 standard releases here. Now, March this year, there is an extra day on the 31st. Because it starts on Saturday as opposed to it starting on Friday last year. So there are 2 slots during this month that if they had just gone with a normal schedule this year, so let's just say they dropped Cell at the end of February like we thought they would do, we would get the standard drop on the 12th. That would be the middle of the month LF. And then we get another drop on the 26th or the 31st at the end of the month, either it being another LF, an Ultra, or a Mega Rising, depending on what they want to do. So these are really the slots that we'd be looking at here for character releases. I don't think that changes. I don't think that changes with this Cell release here. I don't know. The biggest thing I'm going to say in this video is this is one of the harder months ever to predict what's going to happen. Typically, Dragon Ball Legends is pretty predictable. They pretty much stick to patterns they've done for years now. This is really like one of the first massive diversions from established patterns that we've seen in a very, very long time, where they're dropping a major character here. Does that mean we're going to still get another major release here? What about here? What about here? I think there's a very high chance we could see 3 major releases in March here, which you look at every single other, off month being essentially January, February, March, April, and then August, September, October. Those months. We've never seen 3 major releases in a month during one of those months before. But, they kind of did sacrifice one of the 2 drops in February for this. So if I had to say what I think we could expect here, I would say, we know this is happening, Ultra Cell here. And then I think there's actually a high chance we get another drop here. If not here, I maybe could see them dropping one here and then here. But I just don't know. This is a completely unpredictable month for me. I don't really know what to expect from this. But again, I think the reason why we did see this switch up in scheduling is probably due to Daima things. So, the Cell Saga celebration happened. It lasted a month. They did mention it was going to last until mid-March. So I'm thinking the 12th. This is usually what they classify as mid-March. The 12th here is when the Cell Saga campaign will end, and we will get a new campaign. So I'm hoping that we do start to see Daima stuff on the 12th here. And I'm not saying it needs to be, full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, like the most hyped thing from Daima. But maybe it's, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Or maybe it's Majin Du or Majin Ku. Maybe it's Tamagami number 1 and, something. Maybe it's Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku, right? Maybe it's one of those things. Maybe it's Goma. There's actually a lot of things they could bring in from Daima. Again, starting if we look back at the Super Saiyan Goku versus Tamagami 3 fight, and we look at everything that happened after that, there's like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 LF worthy characters from Daima they could implement into the game. So, I understand the argument that people make where it's like, oh, they're saving Daima characters for the anniversary. That might be true, but they're not saving 7 LF characters from Daima for the anniversary. they're not saving everything. They're not releasing every possible character from Daima as part. They're not releasing 7 LF banners during part 1 of the anniversary. Like, there are characters that they're clearly not going to be dropping during anniversary, like Majin Du. Like, I'm pretty sure if they do Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta, I'm pretty sure if they were going to do Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta for anniversary, it would be probably the adult version as opposed to the kid version. So they could do that. They could probably do Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Remember, there are 3 versions of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. There's mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku, there's adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then there's like the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku with the white glow. So they can really drop 3 different versions of Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima. Like, that's 3 LF characters, all different. There's the 3 versions of Super Saiyan 4 Goku, there's Kid Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, there's adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, there's Goma. They're clearly not going to be able to get like the super massive giant Goma into the game unless they make him part of an LF animation. But I think they can probably find a way to squeeze like the initial Goma into the game, the initial Goma third eye character into the game. He's going to be probably the biggest character in the game, but I think they could probably get him in somehow. Majin Du's got to be in here somewhere. Tamagami number 1's got to be in here. Tamagami number 2's got to be in. Majin Ku probably will be like a 1% sparking. There's a lot of characters they got to add to the game, man. A lot. Like, it's... they're not just going to drop Super Saiyan 4 Goku and call it a day for Daima. Like, there's a ton of things they need to add here. So I think what they could do is Ultra Cell here. And then depending on how they want to handle the rest of the month, I'm expecting 2 more major releases in the month. If they're going to do that, I definitely expect, if we look at the 26th or the 31st here, which one are they going to choose to release a character? Because a lot of times they wait until the last day of the month to drop a character as opposed to the last reset day. I think it'll probably be The middle of the month release, I'm not sure. It's either going to be here or here. We've never seen them do it here before, but maybe they will. I'm thinking here is an LF character from Daima. And I'm thinking here is another LF character from Daima. I'm thinking double LF Daima characters here, right? We're getting an Ultra here. I don't think they're going to do 2 Ultras in 1 month. They could do a Mega Rising. Like, they could do, like, LF Goma or something here. And then they could do, like, Majin Ku and Majin Du Mega Rising or something right here. It's possible. They could also do LF Goma here. And they could also do, you know, mini Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta here. That's, you know, something like that's gonna happen too. Legends typically doesn't do anything to coincide specifically with Saiyan Day. Saiyan Day is here, March 18th. So if they wanted to somehow, so maybe they want to start. I mean, it's not out of the question. Maybe they want to start doing Saiyan Day stuff. Maybe that's why they did this with Cell. Maybe they wanted to drop Cell here instead of doing it at the end of February, so that there wasn't too much time in between a character release. Because usually the character release would be here. But if they want to start like actually celebrating Saiyan Day in Legends, and they're like, okay, we want to drop Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta to represent Saiyan Day, and they drop him here or here, like one of these 2 days here. This isn't a regular week for a new character release in Legends. They don't usually take the 3rd week of the month and drop a new character. So maybe that's why they wanted to push Cell here, but that's possible as well. So at the end of the day, this is just going to be a very unpredictable month. I'm expecting Daima stuff, but I've also been saying that I expect Daima stuff for the past 2 months in a row, and we haven't gotten anything. So at the end of the day, it's really up to how like Shueisha and Toei want to allow these games to deliver Daima content to us, because up until now, it's not really been too well done, I guess. Right? They haven't really done a good job with being able to provide us with Daima content that we actually want to get and are interested in. We have so many characters that are just sitting there waiting to be released. And, you know, at some point, you know, if we get to like August, September, October without these characters, like the hype's going to die down, right? I mean, I am a big fan of Daima, and I do like the series a lot. I think they did a really good job with the series. But if they wait too long, it's just going to end up being kind of like a, okay, this is cool that we got this, but I wish we had this 6 months ago or something, right? That's how it's going to end up being if they don't, you know, jump on the bicycle and start preparing all these things for us. So Ultra Cell, I'm thinking, if I had to give a like hard prediction, I would say Ultra Cell, LF Goma, LF Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta. That's what I would say. But there's a million different things they could do here. I'm actually going to be interested in seeing what you guys think they might do this month. Do you think that the Ultra Cell dropping here being like the first time I've ever done that, do you think that is tied to some Daima scheduling shenanigans, or do you think they're just bad at managing the schedule? That might be another thing too, right? Who knows? But they really, 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 really need to start giving us Daima things. I don't know if they would do Daima stuff in April. They usually don't give us like super mega hype stuff the month before the anniversary. Maybe they want to treat it differently this year. 2 years ago, we did get the Boo Duo, who was a relatively hype release, and we got Ultra Kid Boo. So, I mean, that was a pretty good month, but last year they gave us the Saiyan Saga celebration, which was like mega rising Yamcha into Vegeta and Nappa. So yeah, we'll see. But that's what I'm thinking for March. Very unpredictable. One of the harder months to predict of all time, because we are actually in uncharted territory. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But Ultra Cell here, and then literally any week literally any week we could be seeing releases. So we're gonna go into this sort of like, you know, we're Christopher Columbus landing in America for the first time, and we're exploring this together. So I don't know what's happening, but we'll see. Let me guys know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.